What's up, everybody? The accountant's back with another best ball stream. Underdog just froze, but it's back up and running. This is a Superflex tournament. I took Joe Burrow in the first round. So this is called the Field General 2 tournament. It's $10 to enter on Underdog, and first place is $50,000. And you start one quarterback, one Superflex. So that can be a quarterback, two running backs, and only two wide receivers, another flex, a tight end. So I feel like my edge increases on tournaments like this because I can get more unique with my roster construction. There's 2 extra rounds. And I just feel like this gives me an edge over the field because it's more of a unique tournament where, you need to be dialed in on your roster construction. So we're going to go over a team today. While you're here, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I'm new to this streaming, so I'm trying to get a little bit of a following so I can start going live and we can start doing drafts together and win some money, which is the point of all of this, is having fun, which is winning money. It's not that fun when you lose. So I'm back up on the clock. As you can see, quarterbacks just go super quick in this one. I'm just going to take Dak Prescott here. Really like Dak Prescott in a format like this. Love his Week 17 matchup against the New York Giants. So I start two very good quarterbacks. Something to note, 2 guys behind me didn't take a quarterback. So if I was to take a quarterback coming back around, I could just stop at 3, which I don't mind that strategy. Because if you think about it, like, if you have 3 solid quarterbacks that stay healthy, you're in a really good spot because you figure 2 are going to hit your lineup on a weekly basis. And if you have 3 good ones, then like you're getting those spike weeks, hopefully every single week, 1 in your quarterback and 1 in your super flex. And we'll see what kind of guys I would have to pass up on. Like guys like Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson. But some of these guys might even circle back around to me, like a Brock Bowers or AJ Brown. So yeah, I'm most likely going to be taking another quarterback here if like a Baker falls to me. Especially considering like these 2 guys are most likely going to rip 2 quarterbacks. And if not, then they're way behind the 8 ball at quarterback. So yeah, a lot of guys in front of me went 2 quarterbacks. We'll see if they take a third. Yeah, underdog just crashed though for like maybe 20 minutes. So we'll see if everyone in this draft is still here or if anyone autos. But it seems like everyone's still here. Should be interesting to see where Ashton Genty goes in this. They say that he, I guess, has a mid ankle sprain, whatever that means. They said it's not high, but it's also not low. So who knows what's going on with that. So yeah, I would love to take Ashton Genty here if he was going to be healthy. But I think Baker Mayfield is arguably even a better pick in this type of format. So I'm going to go ahead and take Baker. This could also send a little scare in the room with these guys needing quarterbacks. Would be great to see like a Chase Brown fall to me, considering I have Joe Burrow. So Chase Brown goes. That is someone who I could have considered here is Chase Brown, but I really like Baker Mayfield this year. I really like him in best ball specifically because he has those spike weeks. So I'm only one of me and the guy in the third slot took 3 quarterbacks. And it's just like any other tournament. Like you want to be mixing and matching the constructions you do. Like I don't take three quarterbacks every time, but when three quarterbacks fall to me like this that I like, I go ahead and take them. And I see this as a big teardrop, or teardrop as well. Like Baker Mayfield has kind of shown it already, rather than these guys who haven't. So AJ Brown's here. Go ahead and take him. And like I still get an elite wide receiver with my three quarterbacks. Running backs tend to go much quicker in a draft like this because you only start two wide receivers. So my next two picks, we'll see which running backs fall to me, but unless a wide receiver is here that I really like, I most likely will be taking running backs. But yeah, in these types of rooms as well, because you get more roster spots, you can really hammer like the handcuffs if you want to do that strategy, or just like get like a 10, 8 to 10 wide receiver room, and you only have to start two. So a lot of guys only going three quarterbacks. And that's the thing in this too, is if you can find like, for example, Joe Flacco last year, who had like some very usable weeks. If you would have paired him up with like a Drake May and an elite quarterback, then your team would have been on fire. So like finding late quarterbacks can be a strategy as well. But like with this team, I'm not even going to need to take another quarterback. So yeah, I just started streaming because I'm starting to, max out a lot of these tournaments. So I thought I might as well get on and start sharing my thought process through them all because, I'm doing so many that I have a lot of experience now. The past 2 years, I've done very well with my ROI and getting money back, placing top 10 in multiple tournaments last year. The year before, I placed in top 10 and I didn't even do many tournaments at all. So I've just been, gradually taking best ball more serious, seeing the potential. So I'm going to go ahead and get Travis Etienne. I like this pick for this specific type of team. He should be getting more looks because of the Alvin Kamara injury, and I just like that offense in general. And like I said, running backs tend to go quicker in drafts like this. And this is really like the last tier of quarterbacks that are for sure. Like Mendoza just went, who's not even for sure going to be a starter. So I could go Zay Flowers or David Montgomery. I'm going to go Zay Flowers because he plays Joe Burrow in week 17. And I just like Zay Flowers, especially in a best ball format where he's going to be putting up those spike weeks. I see him having a really big season this year. He also received some help with the wide receivers they drafted. So defenses aren't really going to be able to key in on him, and because they got to deal with the other receivers as well. And Lamar had a down year last year, but like Zay Flowers still kind of killed it. So if Lamar has a good season, I see Zay Flowers. I think he could push for like 1,500 yards. And like these two, like I said, I'm only starting two wide receivers. And these two wide receivers, like, could possibly be hitting my lineup every single week. So I'm very strong at wide receiver now. And like if you compare our two, like the team in the 12 spot, he only has two quarterbacks, one being Aaron Rodgers, who isn't going to have similar spike weeks to like Baker. And then he's got two good running backs, but like my wide receivers are arguably just as good as his two. He does have one extra running back, but like because this is super flex, like my quarterbacks absolutely bury his. So give me my build every single time compared to a team like that. This guy goes bully tight ends, which I do like in this format specifically because you only have to start two wide receivers. So like tight ends kind of get pushed up a little bit in my opinion as well because they're just more valuable at the end of the day. Like you have one less position at wide receiver, so it kind of, pushes more value towards the running backs, towards the tight ends. I'm going to go Jadarian Price here and keep building out this running back room that needs bodies and volume. He's a rookie that should be getting some good looks. And even if he doesn't get all the work at the beginning, I think he's a good running back. And his volume should just increase as the year goes on, even with Charbonnet coming back. Like they're not gonna rush Charbonnet coming off a serious knee injury. And like we know they want to use a committee backfield. They did it last year as well. So it'll keep Price fresh. And in best ball where you don't have to, pick when you're starting these guys, committees aren't the end of the world. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get Parker Washington here. Another guy I'm high on. He's been getting a lot of camp buzz. Jaylen Warren was the other guy I was thinking about here. Hopefully, another running back that I like falls back to me at 104. But yeah, my wide receivers are stacked now. Got some solid running backs here. And there will still be options for me. Jordan Mason is a guy I haven't got a lot of, especially recently. Like I was picking him more when he was cheap, but his price has just like rapidly gone up and he doesn't catch passes. I don't know how I feel about that offense. So like the price is kind of, I don't know. I just don't see myself taking him in many drafts. But they do get the Jets week 17, which is a great matchup. But like everyone was expecting him to like break out last year. He got injured. Has never done it before in his career. So I'd rather just go with like upside guys like RJ Harvey. I mean, once RJ Harvey is gone, it does kind of get ugly. So like I think this is the right price for him. It's just high, much higher than where he was going. Because like all these guys have question marks. J.K. Dobbins gets injured all the time. JCM is currently dealing with a lower body injury. Not really sure what it is, but it's a crowded running back room over there. Okay, cool. I get RJ Harvey, which is who I wanted. But yeah, JCM is is dealing with some type of injury. We haven't got like a lot of information on it, just as a lower body injury. And I really like Katron Allen there. Rashad White is a pass catching specialist. So I could just see like a full committee there. Also, I mean, Washington, the whole offense is a little concerning, in my opinion. Like with the offensive line, Jaden Daniels is coming off an injury. And I'm not sure about the offense for how expensive like some of them are. So right now I have a 3-3-3-0 build. This guy went 4 quarterbacks, which I don't mind considering how like bad his quarterbacks are. Okay, so I'm back up on the clock. Harold Fannon's here, George Kittle, some wide receivers, Chuba Hubbard. I'm gonna go ahead and get Fannin to start off my tight end room. Chuba Hubbard, I do like how he's falling in draft, where he's going now. I think it's starting to become a value. Like, I don't think Jonathan Brooks is just going to get all the work there. They've pretty much come out and said that they're going to use a committee. We'll see, but like on DraftKings, Chuba falls consistently pretty far in drafts. Which they completely like flipped their ADPs between Brooks and Chuba, which like a lot of people saw coming. I kind of just like stayed away from, like, not stayed away completely, but I wasn't drafting a lot of either one of them, to be honest. One, I don't like their Week 17 matchup against Seattle. And then two, I don't know, that neither one of them excite me that much. Like, I'd rather have guys like Blake Corum, Rico Dowdle, RJ Harvey. So my stacks are kind of light on these teams. But there are some guys later on in the draft I can stack with, like Baker. I could get some correlation with my running back in Parker Washington here if I take Chris Rodriguez. Okay, he goes. Stephon Diggs is here. I'm going to go ahead and take Stephon Diggs, a guy that should just be hitting my lineup. I was just talking about the Washington offense, but this is like a talent bet. I think he's underrated. And like Jaden Daniels is still a good quarterback. They should just be trying to get the ball out of his hands a bit quicker this year. I think that's why they made a lot of the moves that they did with like bringing in Stephon Diggs, drafting the Williams guy, bringing in Rashad White, bringing in another running back. They just are like trying to fill Jaden Daniels with as many pieces as possible so he doesn't have to like run the ball as much. I do kind of like the idea of pairing up Coleman with RJ Harvey, but I think I can get him on the wraparound. So I don't take a lot of KC Concepcion. I've been kind of wanting to get more of him. So I'm going to go ahead and take him here. Like, my wide receiver room is absolutely stacked now. because I only, like I said, I only have to start 2. I can start 3, one in my flex. So I'm going to have to start hammering running backs here soon. Like, there's a lot of guys that I like, and like these guys can carry me if they're doing what I think they will be doing for a few weeks until like, injuries start happening and then other guys step up for me as well. Mike Washington is still on the board. A lot of polarizing views and ADPs with him and Ashton Genty the past few days, but it seems like Ashton Genty is going to be relatively fine for the majority of the year. But like Mike Washington, I will say he has been looking really good in the preseason games, breaking off long runs. But all that tells me is that there he goes. All that tells me is really Oakland and Las Vegas is going to be like they can run the ball. So like it wasn't scaring me off of Ashton Genty until he got that little injury. But I have so much Ashton Genty exposure that it's like I'm fine with passing him up in this draft for someone like Baker Mayfield at the end of a tier. Like I don't blame this guy at all for taking him. If I was him, I probably would have taken him as well. So Jonah Coleman is still here. There's a lot of tight ends at the end that you can get. I don't mind waiting on tight end, especially when I have like an anchor tight end. Okay, so I get sniped on Jonah Coleman, which is unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and take Marshawn Lloyd here. Who knows what's going to be happening with Josh Jacobs? Lloyd scored a touchdown in his preseason game, receiving touchdown. They're resting him, protecting him for the season. So Marshawn Lloyd is another guy I've just been trying to up my exposure on. I think this is a very fair price for him because even if Josh Jacobs comes back and like Marshawn Lloyd is good, they could just give the ball a lot more to Lloyd because like Josh Jacobs is getting older and Marshawn Lloyd could just be really good. Spears is here. Could take like a T Ferg. So T Ferg has been getting, he's one of my highest drafted players, has been getting a lot of hype of being like the third option in the LA. He also plays Baker Mayfield week 17. And I'm kind of fine with this running back room at the moment. It's not like the strongest running back room, but like it's pretty solid. And I have one of the strongest quarterback rooms in this pod, and arguably probably one of the strongest wide receiver rooms as well. Like this guy here with his 4 has a great wide receiver room. But like mine is not far behind. I do like the way he's building his team, though, I will say. Jacoby Lane goes. Tank Bigsby off the board. So J.J. Creamer has 7 running backs. And he has Bijan Robinson. See, this is just kind of like overkill in my opinion. Like you have Bijan Robinson. You don't really need 7 running backs this early on in the draft. Like he needs more quarterbacks, maybe a tight end. I'm on the clock here. I'll go ahead and get a stack because I don't have many with Dak Prescott, a guy that just could have some spike weeks as well. And my wide receiver room, honestly, is just about done, I would say. Maybe one more. Yeah, I'll probably take one more just with like these bye weeks. So I would kind of like to get Ted Hurst to pair up with Baker because, like I said, I don't have many stacks. So Emmett Johnson has been looking good in preseason, and Kenneth Walker today popped up on the injury report with a hurt foot. So I like Emmett Johnson as like a handcuff guy that could definitely be seeing the field on a great team in a good offense when Kenneth Walker most likely won't be able to play every single game this year. He was also like one of the running backs that I like the most from watching their film. Him, Katron Allen, I liked his film as well. Jonah Coleman, liked his film as well. So I don't have any Cincinnati stacks. So I could look to take their rookie. He caught a touchdown in his preseason debut. And honestly, the Bengals kind of need a tight end to step up because I really don't trust Mike Gesicki at all. So I just think by like in week 17, if this team makes it, he could be starting by then. And almost no team in this is going to have him. Going to take another running back I like in Katron Allen. So yeah, this is really why I like doing like Superflex because you can load up on guys you believe in because you get more rounds and you just need deeper teams. So I think it just adds to the edge like I was saying in the earlier part of the video. And I can end this team like I most likely would go 3, 6, 7, 4, I think. Get my Baker stack with Ted Hurst. And yeah, my wide receiver room is done and pretty stacked considering I only need to start 2 of these guys, possibly 3 in the flex, but could also get some flex from my running back as well. And then I'll end it with 2 more tight ends. I need some guys that don't have week 11 buys though. Another guy that could be low owned. He scored a touchdown in his preseason debut as well. Like his athleticism. He does have a week 11 bye, though. Michael Mayer also scored a touchdown in the preseason. That was pretty nasty, to be honest. And he'll be getting a lot of routes because they're going to be running 2 tight end sets a lot. So even if Brock Bowers stays healthy, he could get some touchdowns. So yeah, I went ahead and got Michael Mayer, and then I'll wrap it up with Jack, a rookie from Texas on the Cincinnati Bengals. I know you ain't getting sleepers like this in any other videos, so smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going for first place. Last year, I got second place, was my highest finish in a tournament. So hopefully this year I can take home a championship. Obviously, a lot of luck is involved with it, but also player takes, roster construction. It's all very important, especially when you're doing so much volume. So thanks for joining, y'all. Appreciate you. Taxman's out. Until next time, peace.